Hey, scrappy people. Tracy Reed here today with TRD Sketchy Sunday number 28. That was the sketch that we are working on, and this is my first layout done in my new craft room in my new house. So, of course, we had to do a layout about closing on our house. So I'm going to trim these photos down, and I'm leaving in the trimming process with my video this time just so you can see it on camera. I need to wash this. Actually, I just need a new trimmer. I normally use my big guillotine trimmer, but I thought I would use that one to trim these photos. It's a little bit more easy to stay accurate on such a small scale, but I'm going to pull out my guillotine trimmer for this. I need a bunch of 3x4-ish size pattern cards for this sketch, so I'm going through my patterns to decide which ones I want to use. So I have scaled the sketch down to be Life Crafted album size, which is basically 10x8, so you lose a bit of size all the way around. So what I did was I actually literally scaled it down, and I'm trimming all of these papers at 2¼ by 3 instead of 3x4. If you do this sketch with a 12x12, it is designed to be 3x4 cards. So just keep that in mind. It's about 2¼ by 3 if you do Life Crafted size. So I'm trimming down my papers as well. And then I actually printed my journal cards smaller and added my journaling on the computer so that I wouldn't have to trim down actual journaling cards. So I will bring those in as well. So I am laying these out and following the sketch, and this looks really great. I love the way that the colors work out. I love the white paper with the nice subtle colors from the My Oasis collection. I need to map my photos just slightly. I don't want them to be too large. They are printed at 2¼ by 3 as well. But I do want them to be matted just a little bit so that they stand out a little bit more. So I have 3 photos. This one is obviously once we have signed all the papers in the realtor's office. My realtor was totally awesome. I love her to death. I hope that we remain friends. I loved her so much. And then I have one of us holding the keys in the car once we got in the car. And then I have another one of me standing in the kitchen that's actually from the walkthrough. My mom snapped it because she went on the final walkthrough with me the day before we closed. So I was sticking these papers down, and I decided that they needed some inking on the edges. And so I'm going to ink every single one of these papers before I put them down. And I really think that that adds a lot to the sketch as far as this this collection goes, specifically on the white paper. I liked the way that it looked really nice and subtle with the white paper, but I think that this just gives it that little bit of pop I was looking for with these inked edges. So just using the photo as a guide, and now I'm sticking down all of the other papers around it. I'm going to trim all this off, and then I'm actually going to ink the edges of my photo as well. And then I'm going to repeat the process on the other side, and I really like those defined lines around the outside edges. So you can see I'm leaving some space on the inside edges of these pages for my holes too. So I designed, or when I shrunk down this sketch to figure out what sizes they were going to be, I made sure that I designed the page so that there would be room in the center for the holes. It's just something that you kind of have to consider sometimes when following sketches and adapting it to other sizes, especially if you're putting it in a traveler's notebook style album where you are going to have a split in the page. I always make sure that I have about 1/4 inch on the inside edges where there's like nobody's faces and no words. It's okay with me if like I get hole punches through the cards, but I don't want it through my journaling or my faces on my photos if at all possible. So you can see that I've made sure that the 2 photos where the faces are far away from the edges of the photo itself are on the inside edges. Now, I did not ink the edges of my journaling card with my journaling. I liked the way that that one kind of melded into the background and sort of almost looked like it was printed on the background itself. So I left that one uninked. All right, now I've got that whole process down and I can start embellishing. I decided to go with these Polaroids from the My Oasis collection, the sticker pack, instead of the tags that are on the sketch itself. I decided that the Polaroids would be a good stand-in for those tags, so I'm going to put these under here. And they make a good base to start adding on all of my embellishments. I'm going to stick mainly with the sticker pack from the My Oasis collection, but I did print out some of the layered florals and those labels from the digital kit itself. So I just wanted a bit of a different flower for this page, so I decided that those fun layered flowers from the digital kit that look a little bit more realistic would be fun, or would be a good addition to this page. I don't always print out digital kit embellishments because they do have textures and layers and things that don't always, and for me, translate well to paper scrapbooking, because you're printing out layered embellishments on flat paper, and sometimes that can look a little bit weird to me, but these looked cute and I liked them, so it works for me. They're paper flowers, or they're supposed to mimic paper flowers in the kit, so it just kind of worked with my brain. I'm also using these little doodly flowers from the sticker pack too. Alright, so next I want to build a cluster down here at the bottom too to follow the sketch, so I'm going to use, instead of one of those Polaroids, I'm going to use another one of those labels. And I want to, of course, add some houses, making sure that all of my houses are different. There's, I believe, 4, maybe 3. I think there's 4 different houses in the My Oasis collection, so I made sure to pull a different house for every single place that there is a house. And that pink house that I just put down actually happens to be the one that I drew that is modeled after our house. It's not exactly the same, but it has a similar vibe, so I put that one underneath the photo of us with the keys. Then I'm going to add in a few more florals here and there. I'm realizing as I'm putting these down that I've lost some florals that I had pulled out. Like I had more of these little black doodly ones that I'm missing somewhere. So I do turn off the camera and try to find them. They are completely missing in action though. So instead I just move that. It's good to be home shelf down off camera, and so that it sits on top of the journaling card instead of hovering above it. You can see I'm looking for those black flowers. Gonna add in my holes, making sure that it's slid all the way in and we don't have a catastrophe, and we are good to go. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. I do add a date stamp to that cluster over there. If you want to see the sketch and more examples using it, you can hop on over to the link in the description box below. All right, thank you.